Just being awake, and just breathe, literally just realizing, slowly scanning my own body from the inside going through the body. So really making sure in a way that everything that's going to come up during this day is being perceived very consciously. Yeah, by this. So it's like I slowly build up my energies, prepare. This is how I would call it after waking up. Still the next hour is still I spend alone. This is what I prefer to do. Morning exercise, push-ups, sit-ups, and standing practice. And do you do exercise in the morning? Yes, push-ups, sit-ups, and standing practice. What's standing practice? No. Partially it's also some of them are like mentioned in the book, but literally it is what it sounds like. I choose one position that I'm standing in, and then I hold that position for 15 minutes. Why take all the spiritual part out of this? Because there are some positions that are looking so strange that at some point I also ask myself, how would somebody even invest his lifetime standing and putting yourself through such a position? Well, there must be a reason why in ancient times it is kept as a secret practice to stay like this. Standing practice explained, building willpower and energy, the squatting monkey is called. This is a practice that builds up what we call energy. How do you build up energy? It is by giving your mind something where you need to have willpower to maintain it. Willpower and development of energy go hand in hand with each other. The will to live, the will to keep going, the will. The will, strong will, iron will, energy is also very high, and so literally some of these positions are so demanding on the body that in order to maintain this position, you have to have will. You need to create something about yourself where you are pushing yourself. And this is why I do it. Now, one of the waking up empty and living in the present moment first things is really try as often as you can to remind yourself and put yourself in that proper state of what you think you are. I wake up and try to not already have any type of thought from yesterday in my mind. I try to wake up empty, also try to, at all moments, immerse myself as much as I can in the present moment. That's what it is. Live in the here and now. How you do this to live in the here and now. Stop jumping into the past and stop jumping into the future. Then you live in the here and now, but you must practice it, and literally meaning how you do it. Make yourself empty, because the only thing that fills your mind with past and future is your thoughts. The mind training tension and release through physical practice in the moment where you just on a regular basis put yourself consciously and willingly in different situations and circumstances that actually represent a little bit the structures of life. There are moments in this lifetime where you are going to be super tense, and then it's good to know already how does it feel and what is it that you can do well to learn and release the tension. That's why releasing tension is also a big part of the exercises. The one thing is learning to release tension. The other thing is like when you are too sloppy, when you're too slacky, how to increase your tension, how to increase the energy level again for you to get back into structure again, is always this balance, and ultimately how does it help people to know the hard stuff? Well, because I do think that it is symbolizing this way of life. It is symbolizing the patterns of what you're going to go through in this lifetime. Virtues and character development, Star Wars analogy. Why do we have these virtues in the first place? Again, it's like in Star Wars, the Force, what you're learning, the cultivation of energy, the skills that you are learning. These are very, very powerful things. Yeah. But what makes the difference between somebody possessing this power and using it for the sake of humanity, or somebody using it for the not betterment of humanity? It's the character. The power is the same. It's the character. It's the carrier of the power. It's the one who's responsible to hold this power, to maintain this power, that one must be trained as well, and this is where the virtues hit in. The virtues are building the framework of the character of the avatar ultimately, that is then receiving all different types of training, skill training, that at least in the Shaolin tradition we would say is good to know them. Benefits of early morning practice and solitude. The earlier the morning, the less people in your city are awake. The earlier in the morning, the less emails, the less phone calls, the less messages you're receiving. It makes it much easier if you wake up a little bit earlier knowing there is nobody who's going to call you. There's nobody who's going to ask you for something because nobody's awake. And so, it already makes it way easier for yourself to just focus right now. Okay, these 20 minutes or these 15 minutes in the morning, everybody is still sleeping. This is the time that now I'm dedicating purely on myself, regardless of what type of exercises, what type of awareness enhancing exercise it is. It can be breathing exercise, sitting meditation. It can be the combination of meditative practices combined with movement and breathing, which is what nowadays people know as Qigong. So any type of these methods is perfectly fine. But the main point is that in the moment you are starting these practices, your mindset also must fit. And that means you must really tell to yourself, this is my time now. Turn off the phone. Don't look on the phone. Anything like this. Have this feeling this is my dedicated 15 minutes. Evening gratitude practice. Something that you can do in the evening is just be grateful for what happened during the day. Regardless of how hard the day was, regardless of which challenges you had to face during the day, it is just a very helpful practice to never forget and be grateful about your possibility, first of all, to just experience all of this. I know it's for some people very, very hard maybe to understand that if the day was really challenging, how can you still be grateful in the evening before you go to bed? Well, but that's exactly the point, because if you don't do it, you're going to go to bed with a quite different state of the mind, which is not going to help you for the next day, also not going to help you for the future time to come, because the day is about to end. It's good to still have some type of practice, that's what I call it. It's a practice of gratitude. Be thankful, be grateful for what happened on that day, regardless if it was a hard day or not, because this is now where it comes to habits, conditioning yourself, and the way how to sometimes make your life a little bit lighter. Why gratitude is essential for life's purpose. Why is gratitude so important? Because you are elsewise missing a big part of the purpose of why you're here, a big part of your sense of life. We can complain about all type of things the whole day long, but what helps me to realize sometimes is we can complain. We can complain and we can experience in the first place because we are somehow alive, because we have come into existence already. There are other, I don't know how to say it now, it sounds strange, but there are other beings, maybe they don't even have a body. They have never come alive, they have never been born, they cannot even complain. So you have been given this gift of being able to walk on this earth right now. So having the existence right now, being able to live this life right now already, that is quite a big, big gift. Don't take it for granted. It's not good to take your lifetime for granted, even if you have difficult time, of course. Sports car example, attachment vs abundance. Let's start with a sports car. It depends on the rest of the circumstances. If the salary that you have is just as much that you can pay your rent, nevertheless, you want to have that sports car, therefore take a loan, then buy the sports car. It's very probable you're going to be very attached to the car. Yeah, simply because out of the situation you bought it from, yeah, you didn't buy it from a position of abundance, yeah, so this is already not a good starting point to afford something that you actually cannot afford. Differently, it is when you have the possibilities and you just spend the time and spend also the money on the sports car and see it what it is and realistically see it how much time you spend with it. I do think the excitement in the beginning is there for a week, maybe a month. That's already long, but it's fading. And at some point there will even be a day you don't even see it 'cause you're busy. Then there will be a week when you see the car once standing around somewhere, and then there will be a month passing by where you are traveling the world and you're not even sure anymore when was it the last time that you were riding it. And these are things when you observe them and actually realize, yeah, it's the truth. This is how the development of things with possessions is. In the beginning, it's always like you want to have, and then they fade. Diving into this type of mentality of really understanding wanting is the one part, and then realizing how is life really. Do you need it? Is it necessary? Can you afford it? Is the second part. It just opens another perspective, and then you just decide for yourself whether something is possessing you or you can possess something without being attached to it. Very much is linked to all of this. Position of purchase and time spent with possessions. From which position did you buy it from? And then the second thing is how much time do you literally really spend with it? Your responsibility is make sure that inside you are always full, or that you are feeling full no matter what happens on the outside. Nobody can take something away from you, because the gift that has been given to you is the existence, is this lifetime in the first place. We already have been given the greatest gift of everything, existence. Now don't let anybody interfere trying to take that away from you. So that means don't outsource the power of having your life in your own hands. Don't outsource this to external circumstances. Don't outsource it to how big the apartment is, how many cars you have. If you can afford it, do it. Just don't make that emotional and mental attachment. This is the part, is not about how many cars you have. You're not outsourcing happiness to external circumstances, can have a whole garage full with all the luxury cars. That's not a problem. The problem is how much are you identified with your possessions. The identification is the problem, to have a garage full and just use them and enjoy them, and when you drive and the weather is nice, then it's really nice, but then you put it back into the garage. You go eat your meal, and while you're eating, the car is gone. You're not thinking about the car anymore. It's gone. It's standing in the garage, finished. Now you just enjoy the meal. Attachment is the problem. It is a process. It is of rewiring. How have you lived your life until right now? How much did it serve you the way of thinking until now? And how much also did it limit you? These are all things every individual has to ask for themselves. I'm not giving you anything right now. I'm just saying something which is, let's say, my view, and you have to ask yourself what is it from what you have heard until right now that in a way resonates with you. You observe this pattern in your own life, and ultimately the only person who can do something about it, it's not me. You make the decision. Your life is in your hands. Self-reflection. What's missing in your life? The only thing that I'm doing is, if at all I'm taking something away, I'm taking away misconceptions and illusions that people might have in this lifetime if they didn't have the possibility to hear other perspectives. Also really sensing inside where are the gaps, just really sitting there and asking myself, what is the reason at the moment I don't enjoy this life? What is missing? What's the reason right now for you to be unhappy about this life? Simple question like this. If you don't ask this question, the answers most probably cannot come. What is missing in my life? What do you think you still need? Does it really make sense? Imagining you would have already what you are wishing for? How would it change you right now? But for right now, there are many things on the outside, they don't matter. What matters is how do you feel right now? This is what matters. Present moment vs. past/future projections. There is something simple about it. The problem many times in nowadays world is that you are not here. You cannot just be alone with yourself. Either you're drifting off into the past about what everything went wrong in the past, or you're drifting off into what you still want to see and have in the future. So this projection either into the future or the memories into the past. Both of these things is what makes you suffer. We can sit right now over here and think about what happened last week, and then maybe it makes us angry, or we can sit right now here and we look into next week, no financial department's going to come. Yeah, and also makes you suffer again, but right now there is no reason to suffer. I don't suffer. This is the point where now it comes to all different types of practices that are existing in this world, like focus on the breath, do your internal work, focus on the movement, focus on the sound, everything that brings you into the present. Breathing as anchor to the present, this one doesn't happen in the past. There's nothing more real, there's nothing more direct, nothing more present than something like this to remind yourself to identify. Okay, I'm drifting off right now, come back, because also when you do breathing methods, when I inhale and let's say I feel this stream of air that goes in, music, so in the moment where your mind is locked on the breath, you follow the line as good as you can. This can only happen in the present. When you look at yourself, when you sense into yourself, you feel more what you are. Take care of the body, refine the body, and at the same time you refine the mind. And why mind refinement and waking up in lack vs. completeness is the mind so important? It matters. If you wake up in the morning, what are you thinking when you wake up in the morning? And if you already wake up with conflict in the mind, with unsatisfaction inside the mind, wake up with a feeling of lack. Oh, I wake up. I have to do something quickly because I don't have it right now. Whatever it is, so running after something. Why do you chase anything? Because you're in a state of lack. Something's missing. If you would have it, why would you chase it? And now the question is, where does this lack come from? And now come back to the child, the incarnated soul, the incarnated spirit when it comes to the earth, whoever made it possible for that child to come. You can call it God, you can call it the nature, you can call it the universe. No matter what, this force, this power does not make mistakes. We come complete human concepts create lack. God is not putting you in this earth incomplete. Why would he do that? What he's putting on the earth is existence. He's granting us existence, and afterwards it starts that we have concepts. We start thinking. We start having ideas about how this life is supposed to be. If you're not successful is not alive. If you don't have many cars is not alive. If you don't have many friends is not alive. Well, no, this is all human ideas. You came to the earth right from the beginning. You have been complete. This is the alternative. At the moment I would say is just guiding to rethink. So, what is the next way of what can people do? Rethink your life. Look at how is your life looking at the moment. How did you spend the last 5 years, 10 years? Do you maybe see some patterns in your life? Whenever you get what you want, you will realize that's not it. Running after desires is not going to fulfill your desire. What you need is realization. Realization over desire, fulfillment. What you need is wake up. This is where all these terms are coming from. Also to take that misunderstanding away. I grant you the Porsche. I grant you a big house. Yeah, it's all nice, and I mean if you can afford it. I mean, why not? Ask yourself your satisfaction about life. Is it based on a condition or not? Conditional vs. unconditional life satisfaction, because this is what I would see right now. Everything that at the moment you want to have always when you say, I need this in order to feel complete. I want this in order to feel complete. Then it means your life, your satisfaction about life is based on conditions. As long as I have many followers, I'm happy. As long as I have a family, I'm happy. As long as I have the car and the big house, I'm happy. The fact is you do not have a guarantee. You do not have a security that at any point in time you're going to lose these things. First of all, latest when the body falls apart, you're going to lose them anyway. But even before that, the more it was based on the condition of life needs to look like this, the more we will suffer. Many developed depression, and many started waking up realizing, I cannot base my life on circumstances where I don't have influence on, and this is exactly what this life is about. Don't base your life satisfaction on circumstances where you have no influence on. If you have, well, then change them in the way that serve you. But there are many things we don't have to already right now realizing, I cannot, as a small citizen, I have no influence on whatever the politicians are going to throw out there. No way. Then you are taking responsibility for inner fullness, realizing your life is in your hands. Your responsibility is make sure that inside you are always full, or that you are feeling full. No matter what happens on the outside, Nobody can take something away from you, because the gift that has been given to you is the existence is this lifetime in the first place. We already have been given the greatest gift of everything existence. Now, don't let anybody interfere trying to take that away from you. So that means don't outsource the power of having your life in your own hands. Don't outsource this to external circumstances. Don't outsource it to how big the apartment is, how many cars you have. If you can afford it, do it. Just don't make that emotional and mental attachment. This is the part, is not about how many cars you have. You can have a whole garage full with all the luxury cars. That's not a problem. The problem is how much are you identified with your possessions? The identification is the problem. To have a garage full and just use them and enjoy them. And when you drive and the weather is nice, then it's really nice. But then you put it back into the garage. You go eat your meal, and while you're eating, the car is gone. You're not thinking about the car anymore. It's gone. It's standing in the garage. Finished. Now final emphasis. Attachment is the problem. Not possessions, you just enjoy the meal. Attachment is the problem. It is a process. It is of rewiring. How have you lived your life until right now? How much did it serve you the way of thinking until now? And how much also did it limit you? These are all things every individual has to ask for themselves.